and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jody, and on my channel I talk about Broadway and books. And if you're not new here, thank you so very much for your continued support. It really does mean so very much to me. So in today's video, I will be going over, or I should say I'll be continuing my Broadway show series where I'll be going over every Broadway show I ever saw over the 20 years I was seeing Broadway shows on a regular basis. So as per usual with the series on my channel, I will go over who was in the cast of my performance, who was on the creative team, any favorite songs or moments I had from the show, how I liked the show itself, and anything interesting I find in the playbill along the way. So without any further ado, let's get on to today's show. So today I'll be talking about the 19th Broadway show I ever saw, which was the musical Aida. So I saw this show in April 2002 on a bus trip at the Palace Theater, which I believe is not the home to any Broadway show currently at this moment in time, as I believe the theater is still undergoing a massive renovation. But yeah, I saw the show at the Palace Theater. So now let's get on into what is in the playbill. So here's the page with the credits of everyone who is involved in the production. And then here's the page with the lead and supporting performers. And then the page with the chorus, standbys, and understudies. Okay, so before I get on into who is in the cast, I'll just share this. It was an understudy slip. The day I saw the show, Adam Pascal was still in the production at this point, but he was not at my performance. So his standby went on, and then also somebody had just joined the ensemble. So I just thought I'd share that. Okay, so now for who was in the cast. I'll just point out any names I recognize from, you know, either remembering that I saw them in the show or having seen them in other shows after this. Simone was in the show. Adam Pascal, like I said, was still in the production, but he was not in my performance. Although I did years later finally get to see him in a Broadway show. He was in Disaster, the musical, which was a great show, which I will talk about eventually. Felicia Finley was in the show. She was great in the show, but she did go on to be in another Broadway show, which is my favorite Broadway show of all time, which was the stage adaptation of the film The Wedding Singer. Yeah, she was in that show. She was fantastic in that show. But yeah, if you've been following this series on my channel, you already know that that's my favorite Broadway show ever. And if anyone is in that show from another show, I'm going to talk about it. So I had to talk about it. That's one of my favorite casts of all time as well. A few other performers whose names I recognize: Maya Days, Mandy Gonzalez. Mandy Gonzalez was not normally in the production. She was a standby, so unless she was a standby for Felicia Finley, I believe. So unless Felicia Finley was out, she didn't perform in the production, but it's so super cool that she was a part of the production because I'm such a fan of hers. I got to see her in a few Broadway shows after this, Dance of Vampires and In the Heights, and she went on to be in Hamilton, but I have never seen Hamilton on the Broadway stage. So but yeah, great performer as well. Super cool that she was in the production when I saw it. Now for the creative team, there are a few famous names in here you may recognize. Elton John wrote the music, and Tim Rice wrote the lyrics, and this just had an amazing score. So, you know, obviously both very talented people. The scenic and costume design was done by Bob Crowley. The choreography was done by Wayne Salanto. And now for how I like the show. I really loved Aida. It's just an amazing show, an amazing story. The performances were really wonderful. The choreography was amazing. The costumes were great. And it was just one of those shows that I really, really enjoyed. And obviously, the score was amazing. So I'll talk about that now. And then here is all the musical numbers from Act 1 and Act 2. So like I said, this had an absolutely amazing score, just so many wonderful songs. You had Fortune Favors the Brave, My Strongest Suit, Elaborate Lives, Easy as Life, and my favorite song probably in the whole show was Written in the Stars. I just love the melody of that song. It's just probably my favorite song in the show. But like I said, so many amazing songs in this show. Just wonderful, truly wonderful. A beautiful score. Very, very wonderful. I'm just going to be repeating myself if I just it's a great score. If you haven't listened to it, I highly recommend it. So many amazing songs. So now for anything interesting, I find the playbill along the way. If you've been following the series on my channel, you may remember how I said how, at least when I was seeing shows, the playbills went monthly. So the last show I talked about was when I saw the 2002 revival of Oklahoma. So I actually saw that show a week before I saw this show. So everything in that playbill is the same in this playbill. I did notice a few things that weren't in that playbill that I'll share here, but I'm not going to show a lot because, like I said, it's basically the same thing. So I'll just show the month and the year page because I just still like showing that. April 2002, like I said. And then I just like Broadway advertisements also in Playbill, so I'm just going to show this again. It was an advertisement for Millie, which be sure to stay tuned because I will be talking about that in the future. I got to see that in Broadway. And then they have this thing in the Playbill where performers were, recommending restaurants. And I believe in the last Playbill it was different performers. So I thought I'd just share that at least because this is different. Melinda Hull, who was in 42nd Street at the time, and Christopher Sieber, who was in Into the Woods at the time, were recommending their restaurants that they would recommend. So I just thought I'd share that because that's at least one thing that's different in this playbill. So show a little something new. But yeah, I'll eventually be talking about Into the Woods, so be sure to stay tuned for that. And then I'll just mention my next Broadway show that I'll be talking about. My 20th Broadway show, which was right over here, The Sweet Smell of Success, that starred John Lithgow, Brian Darcy James, and Kelly O'Hara. I saw that in May of 2002. So yeah, today I talked about my 19th Broadway show, which was the musical Aida, which I really loved. And yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. So as always, thank you so very much for watching, and until next time, bye.